antinatalism. I think they are even cool about it. I think they like black pill and antinatalism because they want people to not breed right now. That's why when I made a video about antinatalism, I saw that there was a little bit of like YouTube was benefiting me, in my opinion.
Brother, anti-natalist means that people who don't want to break children into this world. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
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 Okay. Yes. So I'm learning. You know, I'm learning. I'm new. You know, new player. I'm learning. You know. So I just want to say also that it's honor for me to have this discussion. It's very awesome thing to know that there are some people who can understand your thoughts, you know, your ideas, you know.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
So you feel a little bit lonely in real life.
Yes, I used to be lonely, but I used to handle this loneliness. But it's good thing also to know to share ideas with people who can understand you. You know, that's it's a balance, like I said, you know, between loneliness and sharing ideas with others. You know.
Yeah, for
Yes,
me,
man.
like being aware of like the hell realm of or conspiracies. I would say that is stressful, but for me, the most stressful thing has always been the feeling that the people in your life don't understand it, and you cannot even talk about it.
Yes, yes. Also, the family can't understand you. You know, you talk to them, but they don't understand you.
No, not at all. I mean, even they will get like scared, I guess. Scared. I remember when I told a few years ago, I told my uncle that I really liked Schopenhauer, which is a very pessimistic, antinatalistic
Yes.
philosopher. And he was like,
He told you that you are crazy. I'm sure.
no,
Yes.
he probably thinks I'm crazy, but
Yes.
because he loves me in his way, he was like, "Fuck that Schopenhauer, screw that motherfucker." So he hated Schopenhauer because he acted like it's Schopenhauer that is putting those ideas in my head. But it's not that. Like, even if I never read Schopenhauer, I would still think that life is hell. It's not because I read
Yes.
Schopenhauer.
Yes. Yes, that's true, brother. Yes. You know, life you can't describe it with words. It's an unbelievable thing, you know. Unbelievable. We are here. We are talking. You know how did we get here? We are talking. You know, nobody knows how everything begins. You know,
No,
unbelievable.
I don't know. Science says that it
Yes, bro.
started. Science says that it started by chance, but when you look at it, the chance that was needed for life to start is just very hard to find. But they will say, okay, it was a very hard to find coincidence, but because the universe is infinite for an infinity of time, everything will happen. So even life will happen. So that's the way they try to explain how something that like life started from nothing or from like a coincidence. But even though I guess that could be an explanation. But another explanation for something very strange and to happen is that someone did it. You know what I mean? It's like if I see like a ball flying or something like that, I'm going to assume someone kicked the ball. I'm not going to say, oh, there was a wind, there was all these strange coincidences, and then the ball started flying. It's possible,
Yes.
but it makes more sense that someone fucking kicked the ball. So I feel like life is not a coincidence. I think this world is controlled by something. So that's why I watch like Benedictines and other people.
Yes. Yes. That's true.
Yo,
That's true. Yeah. Yes.
never
Yes,
eaten a real
bro.
banana. Yeah, I wanna say something, right? Um,
Yes, brother.
so you're saying that you feel like it's impossible for you know a world like this to exist even if it wasn't started by something. So what would you say created whatever started this? Because I think when we think that we will keep on like pushing the problem further, right? We're gonna say, okay, God created this, and then okay, who created God, and then we keep on going further and further and further and further. So there's the thing. So what would you
Yeah.
say, like began, like started the whole thing, and how was it created?
Yes. I mean, this is something that I don't think anyone can answer. Perhaps, I don't know, some kind of quantum scientist or something. I can only go to the first chain of events and say, I believe this world has all the traits of something that was engineered, something that was
Oh,
created. So I assume there is a creator of the simulation. But what you're saying is very valid, and I don't have an answer. I don't know who the fuck created the creator of the simulation, and I don't know who created the creator of the simulation. So it's really strange. I think this has to do a little bit with the idea of whether the universe is infinite or not, because some people will say it has a limit. But if the universe has a limit, what is outside? Very
oh
strange
yeah,
to think about
exactly.
it. And the same thing can be said if someone says, no, it has no bounds, it has no limits. How the fuck can you think of something that has no bounds? So I think what you're saying, I don't think we can answer. It looks a little bit like the limits of the universe. I don't know
Mm.
if you have thought of something else regarding that.
No, I think it actually makes sense to think. Um, Consciousness itself is fundamental, right? So what that means is that life, let me not even say life, but then consciousness itself wasn't really created. And consciousness is what is dreaming up everything. So that's why it makes sense. That's why when you look at the way that the world works, it actually makes sense. It's because it's consciousness that's actually creating this. The same way that when you're dreaming, your dreams make sense when you're in them. It's only after you've woken up that your dreams stop making sense. So I think it makes more sense to look at life that way. That no, consciousness is fundamental and is dreaming up everything. So that is why there's existence at all. You know.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so that could be a solution to say
Uh,
that
uh,
consciousness always existed.
Sorry,
Is what you're saying.
Antonio, sorry, bro. Benedictine, can you record this and make it in your channel? You know, this discussion. It's very interesting. You know.
Yeah. No, no.
Yes.
I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I'll post it on my channel. Like, yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. And
Okay. Okay, brother.
no, that's great.
Mm.
It's great that I
So
found you guys having a discussion because I didn't think at this time I'll find people having a discussion. But yeah, it's great. It's great.
Benedictine, it's night here in Algeria. It's 21:15.
You mean in Algeria
mhm.
it's 21:15? Oh, here in South Africa it's 10:51.
10:51.
Ten fifty one.
Not night or morning.
Oh, it's night. It's night.
Night. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think it's
What,
night.
what about you, Antonio? How time is it?
My hour is the same as yours, actually.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes, bro.
Antonio, where are you from?
I am from Spain.
Oh, no, Algeria. Like,
Yeah.
cause here's the thing. Algeria is in North Africa, right?
Yes, he is
Yes.
close to my country, Benedictine.
Alright.
Yes,
Yeah, cause I thought our time zones were the same. That's the thing. I thought our time zones were the same.
yes.
I am
Unbelievable.
closer. I
Yes,
am
go
closer.
ahead.
I am closer to Medi than Benedictine. But even though we are just 1 hour away, Benedictine, because when I looked at the map, at first I was like, oh, South Africa is very far away from Spain, but because the map is like a plane projection, and supposedly the world is a sphere.
Mm.
Actually, South Africa is not very far from Spain. That's why it's only 1 hour away in terms of like time zones.
Yeah,
Mm.
unbelievable, bro. 1 hour, just 1 hour. I thought it is very long. It is very, you know.
No, it seems far though. Like Spain seems very far from South Africa.
Uh, how we can prove that the map that we have today it's actually real?
Yeah, I mean we
How we can
can.
prove it?
Like the map doesn't really make that much sense anyway. So yeah, it makes sense to be doubtful. Like it doesn't seem
Yes.
real. It doesn't seem real.
Benedictine, when we use GPS, he show us the road and the map. It's like I'm talking about he showed us the map of our region,
Mm-mm.
and the places and how they know all of this. Yes,
Yes.
I I think they didn't go to the moon. They didn't achieve the moon.
Yeah, it's becoming more apparent that they didn't go to the moon. I mean, like
Oh
like
Maybe
yes.
like I was saying in
maybe
one of the
it's
videos that I've published um recently, as as we as 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 time passes, we get to be better at the things that we do, right? So if we went to the
Mm.
moon, it means that we should actually be able to go to the moon much faster now. Like for an example, we have cars, right? Cars back then were slower than the cars that we have now. Right now, cars are much faster. They are much more comfortable. So, if we went to the moon, it means that the technology that we use to go to the moon, it will be much better now. So it means that going to the moon will be much easier. So it's obvious
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't go to the moon. It's very
Yeah, but you
obvious.
know what normies or NPCs will say, because I have talked with them about this. They have been fed by the television and I don't know nowadays the internet, the idea that the reason why we are not going back to the moon is because there is nothing there. They will say there is nothing there. There is nothing in the moon. There is nothing in Mars. So that's why we are not coming back. And I'm like, so you're saying that 70 years ago we had the technology to go to the moon, and now we have fucking computers in our phones, and you're saying we don't have technology to go easily to the moon,
Yeah,
and the reason we don't go is because there's nothing there.
it really doesn't make sense. Like there's no way to justify that. Like people just need to think for themselves, to be honest.
yes, that's true.
I think that
Yeah.
I don't think the truth is, I mean, even if they try to hide the truth, but I don't think it's hard to find it. I just think it's up to people. Like, are we gonna think for ourselves or not? You know, if of course if we don't think for ourselves, yes, we're gonna be lied to, we're gonna be manipulated. But then if we think for ourselves, we're gonna get to understand things better and see what really makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So this is why you are against like Christianity, no, Benedictines?
Not just that, like I would say religion in general. Like I'm against anything that prevents people from
Benedictine,
thinking.
I know something. There's something inside of me, like you. Also, there's something inside of you, and there's something inside Anthony that knows the truth. I
Yeah.
think that inside of us, we know something. There's something wrong with this world.
Mm.
Mm.
That's why you didn't uh, uh, keep believing in Christianity. I think that's why
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
you
Good point. There was something in us that enabled us to wake up, because most people that are born in like a Christian or Muslim country,
Yes.
they will be Muslims or they will be Christians. Also, there is something different about us. But I don't know exactly what it is.
And there is something, Antonio, to have a good heart in this world full of pain and suffering. It's very rare, you know. It's very rare to have a good heart and, you know, in this evil world, you know. It's very rare.
That's true.
Yes.
Hello, Busta.
Hello, bro.
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
It's okay, 50 bad, 50 good, you know.
50-50, yeah.
No,
Yes.
welcome, Buster beat these.
What's going on, Benedictine?
It's all good, man. We're just having we're just having a conversation, about
There's something, brothers. The life is beautiful and cruel in the same time, you know. Unbelievable. Beautiful and cruel at the same time. You can't understand it, you know. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's why it is like a perfect hell. Like Benedictine says that I came up with that idea myself a long time ago because it is not like a normal prison. It is a prison in which people want to be in. So it's just bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like that. Because I think as conscious beings, we do have the power to choose to have an experience, right? So if we do have that power, we if we can actually choose to have like if we choose to have an experience, we must believe that it's a good experience, because if we felt like it's a bad experience, we wouldn't want to have it. So it has to be beautiful and ugly at the same time, so that we'll see the beauty,
Yes.
and the beauty has to make us attached, right? The ugliness has to make us feel like we need to shift to the beauty of it. So that's the thing. Like it's kind of a trap, it's ingenious in a way.
Okay,
Unbelievable.
so it is I see. So it's a little bit like creating energy or like a currency because you need like movement, because if everything was beautiful or everything was amazing, there would be no drama, no movement, no struggle. And if everything was horrible, the whole thing would just collapse.
It would.
That's why this world is not like a complete hell, even though some people will say it is a complete hell, but it will never be on its own for a long time if it was just hell.
No, I like what you just said when you said if it was completely horrible, it will collapse. Because think of your nightmares, right? Like when you're having a nightmare, you wake up because it's like your consciousness cannot handle the nightmare. But then if you're experiencing beauty and a nightmare at the same time, your consciousness can handle that. So that's the thing. So I think that's why this room is that way. Like it has to have beauty, and it also
Uh,
has to have the
yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Benedictine, you are recording this, yes?
Yeah, I am recording this.
Yes, record it, yes, because it will it is very nice conversation, you know. Yes.
Yeah, it's
I love to talk about deep stuff, you know. Deep, something deep, you know. That's what I love, you know.
That's great. That's great.
Yes. So
I mean, you guys are talking about the topic of beauty and, and the opposite opposing idea of things that are horrible. It's kind of like what I'm experiencing right now is the weather, not much of a choice. But right now, where I'm at, it's very beautiful outside with the snow. It's coming down nice and gently. Picturesque, winter Christmas scene, right? Out in the woods and all that. But this weekend it's going to get down to negative 18 degrees Celsius, which is very uncomfortable.
yes. Yes, that's true.
It's actually crazy how the weather keeps on changing these days. Like even here in South Africa, the weather keeps on changing. Like you could never predict the weather.
Yeah, yeah. It's fucking me up. It's fucking me up because I live in a very hot area also, almost similar to Africa, the south of Spain. But some days during the winter will be very cold, but some days are just hot, and you never know exactly how to cover yourself during the night. So I just hate winter now because I want it to be always cold or always hot. I don't know. I don't believe like in climate change because I see chemtrails and I see the geoengineering. I just don't talk about it because I don't want to go crazy because nobody that I know talks about chemtrails. But
Mm.
they are doing something with the weather.
Alright, it's obvious, man. Like they have the technology to control the weather, so why wouldn't they? Like, eh, like we know nothing, to be honest.
Yes,
Earlier
yes.
on, oh no, not earlier
I
on
think,
today.
Benedictine,
Yeah,
I think the more we don't know nothing.
yeah, you become,
Yeah,
yeah, you start to understand how much you don't know. The more you think, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like the more you know, the more you realize that you really don't know shit. It's
yes.
crazy.
Unbelievable.
We know very little. We are like slaves. We are literally like the slaves picking cotton. They couldn't like read a book, and I guess a few of them were smart enough to talk to the others and say, perhaps being a slave is not right. But the most of them would be like, oh, but we were born slaves, and they feed us. This is how things are. Um, so I think yeah, our life looks a lot like we are in a farm because in a
Right.
farm, the farmed animals are very ignorant. They are very ignorant. They are not in control and they are very ignorant. And that's how I feel people are, to be honest. When you look at like voting, money, the time we live, aging, the diseases, all the lies in our society.
Yes, that's true.
No, you're right. You're right. We like there's so much that's going on and we don't really know. And they are very like the elites are very open about not letting us know the truth. Like I was
Yes,
watching a
yes.
video where they were talking about the UFOs in America. Like they said there were like UFOs coming out of the sea, and they weren't really telling people everything, and they were very open about not wanting to let people know about what's actually going on. You know, as if people are children. Like they consider themselves to be I don't know, better. So they're like, okay, the ordinary citizens of America don't need to know what's going on. We deserve to know what's going on, but they don't deserve to know what's going on. You see, so it's
Yeah.
it's a sheep and shepherd relationship, right? It's like if you believe yourself to be a shepherd, you want to protect your sheep because you believe that they can't understand what you understand. So it's really messed up, really.
Yeah,
Yes,
and you
yes.
don't even want one of them to go astray because that's causes a lot of problems.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. It's a very sad state of affairs to be a black sheep, to be a black sheep, because the elites are also they are engineering people to go against us. Like for example, during the COVID pandemic, a lot of my family and relatives got like a little bit hostile with me because I wasn't doing what they wanted. I wasn't buying like the panic. Um, and I think in the next time that the elites push for like complete obedience, they will try to make the people around us um,
See us
um,
as the
like
enemy.
like like, like servants of the system. Like basically what is shown in the last Matrix movie. I think that will happen.
You mean the
And I know something. Benedictine is Morpheus.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
someone made a meme of me, like they put like my face on Morpheus' body. I thought that was funny. That was the funniest
Yeah,
meme ever.
yeah, oh yeah. We saw it. It was pretty good. We all liked it.
Yeah, that was funny.
Benedictine, you give it me the red pill, you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but it's also, yeah, it's true that they look down on us, like the elites look down on all of us, and I don't think they got to where they are because they were better. I think we put them where they are, and then they started to feel like they are better than us, so they deserve to know everything, and we must know nothing.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, they have that attitude. They have that attitude. That attitude is classic of like secret societies. Like the idea of a secret society is that my friends are smart enough to know the truth or good enough to know the truth, and everyone else doesn't deserve it. So yeah, it really checks out that these people are in fact in secret societies, and they despise the masses. They don't believe in what you do. For example, creating videos and letting people know what you think. They definitely don't believe in that.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
You
and
know, Mark Pazio talks a lot about that kind of stuff, occultism, how it's used against everybody, how things are hidden in plain sight, symbolism.
Who you said, Busta? Mark Pasio?
Yeah, Mark Pazio is his name, and he talks about natural law. He talks about occult knowledge. Apparently, he used to be a Satanist, where he learned a lot of these things. And subsequently, after his conscience kicked in, he decided to, leave the Satanism and move on to try to let people know what's going on, how to see occultism, how to use their own methods to see through the bullshit basically and not be mystified by it.
Yeah.
Very interesting line of thinking that he's got.
I saw a video of him many years ago, and the only thing I remember, but it was very good. The only thing I remember is that he explained that the checkerboard that you see, like in police patrol all around the world, in their cars or in their helmets, the checkerboard comes from Freemasonry, black and white checkerboard. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I don't know what's the official reason for it, but I will say I favor the theory of Pasio, because the police are never like helping the public.
Yes, that's true.
It's because they're pawns, more likely, because they're pawns on the chessboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. Nothing
And
but
pawns are
porn.
always in the front of the army too.
Yes, in chess, they are
Yeah.
definitely pawns. They are nothing else than that. They are never very 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 smart. They are never very brilliant. They never think for themselves. And cops, they will always say, oh, "I was just following orders." Like during COVID, I don't know, during the protests in Tiananmen Square, when the military police and the military killed Chinese. I'm sure if you ask them, they will be like, "Oh, we just follow orders," but they are fucking murderers.
Yeah, that's what Mark Pazio says too, that the order followers are like pretty much the worst because in order to be an order follower, you literally have to be doing things that to not be right. But it's not okay. But you're gonna do it anyways. That's like if nobody listened to what other people told them to do, like you wouldn't have that kind of situation happening to begin with. You wouldn't be able to control people if you didn't get a group of people to enact force on everybody. Because that's always what control comes down to at a fundamental level is it's by force, threat of violence. You don't do this, or I'm going to crack your skull. It's always the baseline. When if you boil it right down, that's the last thing. There's lots of systems of control, but all else fails, it just reverts to violence.
Yeah, that is the basis. But like during COVID, they used fear and guilt. They would use fear of you dying or guilt of you precipitating the death of like your old grandmother or something like that. But if that failed, yes, we saw in Spain the police was like tackling down, kicking into the ground like a young female. People were applauding because afterwards they forced a mask on her. So we when everything fails, it's about force.
Yeah. Or fear of losing your job too, right?
Ah, for sure. Yeah, they also use that. They also use that during COVID. Money and survival. Yes.
I didn't get the shot, and I'm like everybody else I knew who got the shot ended up getting sick like 4 or 5 times, and I just didn't get the shot at all, and didn't get sick at all either. It's kind of weird. I always noticed that.
Me neither. I didn't get sick, and I also went to like a protest, a famous protest here in Spain in the capital, and obviously nobody was masked, and nobody I knew in the protest. I made some friends. Nobody got sick, and I was like, this is fucking fake. But then, yeah, some people have told me, no, I saw the hospitals, whatever. So I tend to think it wasn't like completely fake. But this reality is very strange. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this simulation or whatever is able to make most people believe that, for example, an alien invasion is happening, even though in reality it's just holograms.
No, that's funny, but it's
Yeah,
true.
right.
It's true. Yeah, I think they can actually do that. Like they can fake the invasion and we believe it's real. I mean, if they want to, because it's about control at the end of the day. So if they faked an invasion, the world will believe it's real, and they will be able to tell us what they want us to do, and we'll do the things that they want us to do because we believe them.
Yeah.
Like there'll be very few.
I don't want to do it.
Gusta, are you in the United States? Like, there are any news about the drones? Did something interesting happen with the drones?
I thought
I
that
heard
was
an
weird.
interesting thing about it. Like, I didn't pay attention to the news very much, but even if you don't try to pay attention, it just gets through, right? So I heard all about the drones, and there was one interesting perspective that they got everybody used to drones and commercially with the real estate agents and for fun, and they slowly got everybody used to it. And now they're using this drone scare as a way to say, oh, you're not allowed to have drones anymore. But it's normalized, because if you just brought drones out of nowhere, everybody would be like, that's weird, we don't like it. But if you get people used to something first, and then you take it away from the ordinary person, and then you only allow people in power to be able to use that tool, it becomes another mechanism of control. And it makes sense, because if you were looking at who was it over there in the Red Sea, they did the first naval blockade without a navy over there in Yemen. What was it, Hamadi or something like that? They were using drones and they were blockading that narrow strip of ocean at the Red Sea in between Yemen and Africa, right there. So it makes sense. Drones are powerful technology. Like, it's just
I think they have some plans in the future too.
They want to restrict like domestic or citizen use of drones.
Right, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Could be.
I think they have some plans in the future to do delivery services with drones, and they don't want humans getting in the way of that or shooting them down or using their own drones to block that.
they're going to have a hard time with the rednecks out my way. They'll just shoot it to shoot. They'll be like, "Yo, Cletus, you think we can hit that from here?"
Or they're going to have drones spying on people, and it's going to be another level of surveillance, and they can't be having humans interfering with that with their own drones.
Yeah, I mean, good point regarding like the rednecks. Like that is something that I'm always interested in, like the armed conspiracy theories of the United States. But as drone technology improves, perhaps they are waiting until it completely surpasses like a normal shooter, someone with whatever weapons that you are permitted to have, the highest grade that is not military. Perhaps there will come a point in which it doesn't really matter if rednecks are armed because the drones are just on monitoring everything and they are very precise. They can strike you down from like a sniper distance. So I don't know. The future is bleak in that regard, in my opinion.
But I still feel like it is weird that they would let the drones just float like, because uh there were big drones, remember, and no one knew where those drones were coming from. And I don't know how the story ended, like how the drones disappeared. But it was weird because everyone was taking videos of those drones and they didn't know where they were coming
Right.
from. And I think, the government, also said they don't know what the fuck those where the fuck those drones came from. So it's weird.
Do you think it's possible that they staged and it's
Yeah.
it's their own
In fact,
drones?
that's what I think happened. I genuinely think that that's what happened, but I'm trying to understand why they will stage that.
Right.
Or maybe they want people to get used to these weird, events, right? They want people to get used to this weird shit happening. Or they were testing those drones, but they wanted us to think it wasn't theirs so that we won't question them, because if they show us technology that we don't know and they say they also don't know this technology, they don't have to tell us anything because they're also saying that they don't know. You see, so I think that might be the reason.
Or they can say it's so dangerous and it's such a threat that we have to take your drones and citizens can't have drones.
Or another Spanish Main situation.
What situation?
The Spanish Main. It was a famous event that got us the America into the American-Spanish War, or whatever. They faked getting attacked so that they could justify going to war.
I remember that. And it was a very short war, and we were destroyed very quickly.
Yeah, and that's why the Filipinos have English first names and Spanish last names, and even though they speak Tagalog and stuff like that.
Some people in the Philippines still speak some Spanish. For example, they say "cumusta," which means we say like "como está," but it's very similar, and it just means "how are you doing?" And they have things like that. But it's sad because in Spain, people just don't learn about those things. It's crazy. Like growing up, nobody will tell you that there are people in the Philippines that speak Spanish, or that there are people in there is a country in Africa which is called Equatorial Guinea or something like that, and people speak Spanish. Like black people of Africa speak Spanish in that country, but people don't know about it because our country lost those important wars, and we have been nothing since then. Similar to Portugal. Portugal also like had Brazil, had many things, and now it's completely forgotten.
Yeah, that's true. The age of colonialism. Benedictine, you know all about that from South Africa and the Dutch.
Oh, you talking about us being colonized?
Yeah, colonized. That's why everybody speaks these European languages in countries that shouldn't be speaking European languages.
But you know what I think, and a lot of black people here don't agree with me. I do think it's best because we're all humans at the end of the day. Like, we mustn't be very attached to our culture and be like, yeah, we must all stick to our culture and all that. Like, if there's a language that allows us to communicate, as a collective, not just people from one culture, that's best, right? So I would say that allowed us to be able to connect to the world, because we didn't need to be living like we're in a tribe and know nothing about the world. So I would say that was a positive thing in a way. Like, I don't really perceive that as a negative thing, because we needed that. We don't need to be like living like people in isolated tribes, because I don't think that's the best way to live. I think we need to know things. So
Bro-
that allowed us to
brothers,
know things.
brothers,
Yeah.
imagine if we were born in 1000 for 1400 1400. Imagine how life without technology, without nothing. You have nothing, you don't know nothing, you very very bad,
But even then, we had like Gnosticism. Like
Exactly.
Gnosticism started in the 20th century, or earlier, at the same time as Christianity. So I find that interesting what you're talking about. When did people started thinking about this reality as controlled or perhaps evil? The earliest that I know from like the European perspective, at least, would be like the Gnostics. But those people were earlier than you're saying. Maybe they were from like the first century after Christ. So like almost 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, people. I think people were conscious even back then. I don't think there was a time when people weren't conscious. Like, there was always like a small group of people that was like super conscious, because we're still learning from Gnosticism even now. So it shows us that they were that conscious. So they did know things. They did know things. I mean, Gnostics have been saying even back then that this shit is a simulation. This shit is not real. They might not have used the word simulation specifically, but that's what they meant, that it's not real. It's more like a dream. So yeah, I would say yeah, there were people who were very conscious even back then.
Yeah.
It would
Brothers,
be interesting to talk to somebody from that era to see. They'd probably think we're a bunch of idiots, but they would, I would ask them if they had less mental health issues and if they lived more fulfilling lives.
No, you know what I think about mental health issues. I think we are just labeling things now. It's not that people back then didn't deal with the same problems that we deal with now. It's just that they didn't label things the way that we're labeling things. Now they have a name for everything, right? If we cough a
Yeah.
lot, they will have a name for that. If we think a lot, they'll have a name for that. And they associate things that actually help people grow with mental illnesses. So that's the
Hmm.
thing.
And the remedy could have been similar back then. Maybe the answer was go outside and get some sun and get some activity. And maybe that's still the answer. But now that, it's been monopolized so much, like you said, it's just become a whole different world.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
believe some mental illnesses are legit, and there are, in my opinion, there are more now. But it's true that, for example, people like us, according to psychiatry, we are schizotypal, for example. And that diagnosis is pretty stupid because it's about having beliefs that are uncommon, having paranormal experiences, and having problems forming many intimate relationships. But if you believe things that the majority don't, and if you have paranormal experiences, it follows that you will have problems connecting to the majority of people. So that's an example of a diagnosis that is made up by the matrix, in my opinion.
Mm, mm.
I mean, people around a fire and just talk all night back then. Some people still do that now, but I think about, reading and writing back then, actually putting some ink to paper and thinking about what you're writing. That has to be, like, we've completely lost that.
You think
Very
that was
hard.
better?
It's very hard.
Like technology, obviously, but you retain information when you write things down, and when you do it like some real ink on an old paper, I think that things were just different back then.
Yeah, I still write on paper, man, and you're right. It does help you solidify. It's like reiterating it. You can hear it, you can write it, and you can speak it, and you can do it, and all those types of things kind of really solidify what you're attempting to learn, or your thoughts, opinions, that type of thing.
Right.
It's absolutely true.
Think about how special it would have been if you got a letter from somebody, from across the country, handwritten ink letter.
It was special. It was special. I experienced
Probably
it.
special now because it never happens.
No, but I personally experienced that because I am 33. So I had an era when I was a kid in which it wasn't like something eccentric that you might do because you're a hipster. It was normal. And yeah, it was more exciting than technology. It was more exciting. There was something very special about letters. And prior to like the time I was a kid, people had like complete romances with letters. Some writers had like years of romance almost just with letters. So there was something special about receiving a letter.
Yeah, you're a little nervous with the girl. You just slide her a little note.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's just text message, right? That's not special.
No, but it
That's why
was.
some people always want to use.
Now it's rims and dollar bills.
Now it's like, ew, he's calling me. Just text me. Like, what?
I think we just got too used to this to texting that we don't feel it's special. Like we're so used to it because we do it a lot. Like writing, that's not something that we used to do a lot.
You used to knock on your neighbor's door to see if the kid could play. There was no phone. You just knock on the door, show up.
You know what I think? I think the more we have things, the less happier we become. It's like less is more in a way because that helps us appreciate. So now that we have access to like a lot of things, it makes us appreciate things less.
Agree. It's just never enough because there's so much now.
Yeah, we appreciate things less.
brothers, it's unbelievable. This life is unbelievable. We are here talking. How did we get here? Unbelievable. Nobody knows. Unbelievable. You can't describe it with words. We are
definitely.
How did we get here? How did we end up here?
It's most likely that we're dreaming. I know it seems far-fetched.
You talk to somebody from the 1400s, they wouldn't believe. They wouldn't believe what they see.
It's like
That's
magic.
What I think.
Yeah. Technology, when it advances enough, it looks like magic. That was said by a writer that, in my opinion, was some kind of Freemason. Because I think these people in the secret societies, they know that in the end, like super high tech is the same as magic. So that's how the simulation works. Is super high tech that that it fucking looks like magic. That is probably how, if there is like a soul recycling mechanism, it will look like magic. It won't look like technology, even though I think it is technology.
Yes.
And now with artificial intelligence, sorry, Mary. With artificial intelligence, it's becoming. I am a programmer, right? So I'm seeing with artificial intelligence I am seeing how people can deny that we live in a simulation. It's becoming harder and harder. It's a little bit like the moon thing you were talking about earlier, Benedictribe. The more time that passes, the weirder it is to say, "Oh, we went to the moon when things were very rudimentary, and we are not coming back now that we are very advanced." So I feel the same with artificial intelligence because we have like code that is able to code itself and it's like generating images, generating video, understanding people, and people are not seeing that this means that a simulation is possible. Just artificial intelligence is proving that a simulated world is possible.
Yes. I'm thinking.
I think that
Sometimes
a lot of people do know this. They just don't know what to do. It's so powerful that there's probably different theories, but there's just probably a feeling of helplessness that you can't help the situation. Then you have people like you that are programmers that are seeing this stuff firsthand, and it's like, how much can you really do? Or do you enjoy using the technology?
I enjoy using it, but it's bittersweet because first of all, I need to use the artificial intelligence because it will create a function or a program like, I don't know, 100 times faster than me. So I need to use it to be productive. But also, I feel that I am participating in something that is not good. So I don't know. My relationship with technology and artificial intelligence is simply that I'm trying to make money for a few years, and after I will drop the phone and I will try to live in nature. Basically, that's my idea. It looks a little bit like childish, but I will definitely do that.
You're just never going to be able to replace the human connection, and it's unfortunate that people feel like they have to be so productive, so they have to use this. And the rabbit hole that's been opened is wild to think about, but man, seems unstoppable.
unbelievable.
Everyone is participating in it. That's why it is unstoppable.
Right. Do you think people are just going along with it because they hear that everybody's using Chat GPT and AI, so I gotta do this so I don't get left behind? Or do you think that people see real benefit in it?
I would say both things, but I don't know. In terms of like normies and people that are completely asleep, they use ChatGPT the same way that if the next in a few years they say that you can implant a chip in your brain that will make you able to Google things instantly, most people will be like, well, yeah, that's awesome. It's just like they are in a trance and they are being herded into something sinister, but they fucking love it. For them, it's just progress. It's just normal. It's like they are hypnotized.
That's a good point. People love new technologies. They love new electronics, new gadgets, all that. The newest iPhone, the newest AI program, you got to have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a little bit about productivity, but it's mostly they are in love with it. They are just fucking in love with it in general.
I'm not a big fan of AI at all, to be honest. I get it. I think it can be used as a tool, but I think the pros just do not outweigh the cons. Not even close.
And did Benedict say a fever?
What'd you say?
I tell you what, yo, when they start putting the chips in the brains, I'm out, dude. I'm not gonna be able to handle that.
No.
No, me neither.
I mean, that's where we're going, right? We live in a world where it's just never enough, and people are being pressured to create new technologies for whatever reason,
Yeah, basically, David Icke says it's because like the Archons or aliens want people to merge with artificial intelligence. Whatever the fact that means, I don't know what it means, but it's true that we are going in that direction. And even people like Elon Musk that are like in the middle of it, they will say. I remember a few years ago in the Joe Rogan podcast, he said it like casually, and I was like, damn, this is true. Like, he's saying what is going on. He said, you are already an android. You are already a cyborg because you have your phone in your hand almost all hours of the day. So you're already merged with technology. So he was making a point that people are willingly merging with technology.
And yes, as humans, all we have is our perspective and our word, and having conversations with other people to give them your perspective. And if we keep going down this rabbit hole with AI, we're just going to lose that. It's the human, let's just say the human word is not going to even mean that much when somebody can just use ChatGPT.
Yeah, and there are many types of
That's a pretty basic example, but it's just the human connection part to me is just too heavy.
The soul. I mean, the thing here is whether there is a soul or not, because even in like the Benedictribe server, there is a surprising amount of people that don't believe in souls. They believe we are just the body, and I'm not saying I have any proof of like the spirit of anything like that, but I just feel like maybe that there is something in us that is not just the flesh, that is not just like a biological program. But people like my brother, which is like a software engineer, they believe that life is a program and we are machines. So artificial intelligence will replace people at some point because people are already artificial intelligence in his mind. So there is no soul. We are just machines. So I really don't know. I think we are not just machines, but I cannot prove if there is a soul or anything.
You made a good point too when you said there's going to be people that are at the door signing up for this chip. Like I want to be the first. Like let me do it. It sounds fun. And to each his own. Everybody should have their own choices, but
yeah, it's gonna be Black Mirror.
Just so you guys know, I'm not a philosopher by any means. I like conversations like these. So.
Oh no, I read some philosophy when I was younger. I haven't read philosophy in a long time, to be honest. The last thing I read that was like philosophical was a book by Jason Brennan that is not a philosopher, but it's like a scientist of politics, a political scientist. And it was a book that is called Against Democracy. But it's similar to philosophy because he goes very deep into whether people are intelligent enough to vote or not. And he proves that people are too stupid to deserve voting. And I think it's super interesting because even though he's not like a conspiracy theorist, he proves that democracy... Yeah, go on.
Brothers, unbelievable. How did we get here, How did we get here? Unbelievable.
You mean incarnated, maybe? Or you mean with this technology or talking with each other?
How everything started? If there is a God, then what before God? What were before God? Unbelievable.
What do you think?
Unbelievable, What if we are product of chaos,
Some people believe that.
Then we sure as hell lived up to that.
What if everything comes from chaos?
Okay, so one thing that is interesting regarding that, when I finished my studies as a programmer, we had to do like a final program. That all the people in the group would have to participate in a program, and the program was called the Conway Game of Life. So apparently there was a mathematician that wanted to prove, like many materialists, like in a playful way, that life is completely random. Like many people that are like scientific or materialistic believe that. So Conway was like, okay, we will make like a checkerboard, and in every round of the game, the cells, which will be the squares in the checkerboard that are black, for example, or white, they will be living cells, and if the cells that are surrounding the squares are empty, they will die. There were like very simple rules for life. There were like 3 rules. And the interesting thing about the Conway game of life is that just with 3 rules for life and a checkerboard of, I don't know, 1,000 per 1,000, something like that, of which would be 1 million of squares, people can start with like 5 tells put strategically in a part of the checkerboard, and something similar to not exactly a world, but something that looks alive will eventually start appearing in the checkerboard. So if you look it online, it's super interesting. And the longest that someone has been able to create a random world from a Conway Game of Life has been 2 days. So that is interesting, but it still doesn't really prove that life is random. But it's an interesting point in that direction.
There's so many ways it could have happened. It seems like there's so many different theories.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Sure.
Unbelievable.
It could have been something as simple as, like you hear about when a bird eats like a fish egg and drops it in another body of water. A whole species of fish can be, spawned there. Very basic example, but
yeah.
And then it could be something as crazy as, aliens, I mean.
Brothers, there is something inside of me is screaming, something, you know what I'm saying?
Gnostics say that is the divine spark. What you're saying supposedly is the divine spark that doesn't feel at home in the demiurge domain.
I feel that you know what I'm saying?
Whatever that voice is, you should listen to it.
It's like,
you should listen to it.
I'm not free.
That is also in the Matrix. That, like, Morpheus says that. He says, there has always been something bothering you in your mind regarding the Matrix, Neo.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer in the gut feeling. There's some times where you don't want to trust your gut, but I think it's a good start.
Yes.
So many times I didn't trust my gut, and it was the right move. It's a primal. It's a primal feeling. It's bringing up fear of something that may happen, or something that's just deep in your soul. I just think you should listen to that voice, and you should try to drill down into it until you really figure out what it's trying to tell you.
Yes, I think I'm training myself
because people have that so many times, and they won't listen to it, and it causes so many issues, as you can see.
Yes, I'm trying myself to express myself more, to go inside myself and bring it from the inside of myself. This idea from the deep of myself, the deepest of myself, the deepest of my soul, and bring it to the light, you know what I'm saying?
Cool. That's very cool.
That's all we can do, man.
I feel
now we have a platform to actually say that out loud to people that want to listen to you. So I would take advantage of that.
Yes,
I think you are.
It's
I think
it's
you are.
beauty. It's beautiful thing. There's something. It's like inside of me. I feel it inside of me. There's something that something. He wants to be free. He wants. Actually, it's hard to describe it. You know. Yes, I'm listening.
Benedictine, are you there?
Benedictine's on mute. I'm just joking.
No, he's not, but he might be busy with something else. But Michi Liv, I hadn't talked with you. I hadn't talked with you in like via text in the server. I asked earlier to Medi Truth TV. When did he started feeling that there was something wrong with the world, or at least that they were lying to us? When did that start for you?
That's such a good question. I think when I was getting a little bit older and I was starting to feel more responsibility that I was going to have to become my own man. And, whether that is get a job or get rid of some bad habits, just seeing how society operates on a day-to-day basis and how different I am from that made me really start to question things. I would say, like, as I was graduating high school and getting into college and just realizing how everything revolves around money and lies and, making something out of yourself and going against your soul, like that deep feeling that we were just talking about, and how hard it is to do that and how everything works against you once you really try to become yourself. I started feeling that around, like 19, 20. But at the same time, I do feel like I was on a different level when I was a young child as well. I mean, I have some ADHD, and my parents decided it was a good idea to put me on medicines ever since I was like 6 years old. So I got a pretty lightning synapses up there. So it's caused some issues for me because it just seems like I'm not compatible with this current day. Sometimes.
Yes, though I feel you.
I think when I was graduating college and I was trying to get a job, I think that's when it was really hitting me. Like, I'm not going to find my dream job. Like, I can't. It just doesn't work this way,
Yes.
Like, I had a lot of hope. When I was in school. I think, like, I had a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I just kept running into roadblocks that just seemed.
Yeah. I think you made a very good point, Michi, when you said that it seems like the Matrix will really reward you if you go against your deepest essence and you just bow down to it. Like, for example, I am a programmer, so I am already like, I am actually promoting the Matrix, to be honest. But the domain in which I work is like, I would say it doesn't like directly promote the Matrix, but already by being like a programmer, you're already like being favored by the Matrix. So it was very easy to get a job. People give me opportunities all the time. Even in like the Discord, people will send me private messages now and then, like asking for opportunities and doing things with me. So that happens. But if I went into like designing artificial intelligence, I would be swimming in money. So it seems like in this matrix, if you do what the simulation wants at that moment, you will have a lot of money, a lot of respect. So this is what the celebrities and the very successful people do. They don't have freedom because they must do what the simulation wants. To be honest, they have no agency, but they will be very successful and they will have everything they would want in the world. So it's literally the analogy of selling yourself to your soul to the devil.
Brothers, what if the designers of this world designed to the world to make us angry, to make us very angry, to make us scream, and they got the energy that we, when we
People
scream.
believe that. Yeah, some people believe it's a loot farm. And
Maybe, yes.
maybe people like you and I, we are the batteries of the matrix. That's why the world is not good for us.
Yes, maybe, yes. That's true, maybe.
We don't know, to be honest. Like, at the end of the day, we don't know. We know that we are being controlled, and we know that voting is useless, and we don't know much else.
I want to come in at this moment because I think I'm making a connection that seems logical. So I don't know if everyone is familiar with Terence McKenna, but he is a linguist basically, and a guy who was, I guess you could call a psychonaut, somebody that would use mushrooms as one of his favorites. Anyways, he talked about the transcendental object at the end of time, that everything is speeding up and everything is getting more novel, like novelty meaning newness, everything that we are experiencing being newer reiterations of things that are slightly different, and just everything becoming more and more novel until we reach that object at the end of time. And now you guys are talking about batteries for the Matrix, and the Matrix looks like whoever does stuff for the Matrix is who gets rewarded for doing the work. Like, it's all going towards one end transcendental object, just like he talks about. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, very interesting. But that is like very metaphysical. That is very metaphysical. That is a little bit like when you read philosophers like Kant or Spinoza or whatever, what they are talking about is true, but it's also not like very applicable to our lives. You know what I mean? It's like you're talking about the end result, which will happen in like 1 trillion years from now.
Unbelievable.
Skepticos, I appreciate you asking, because I do think I elaborate a little bit better when somebody asks me a question. You guys are on a different level with some of this stuff, and I'm just trying to keep the conversation going.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, Cat Drax, what's up?
Why is my name Cat Drugs? What happened?
Well, there was a mod.
Who did this to me?
Benedictine, you need to know this. There is a mod that is a little bit naughty, okay? Which is Jojo, and she decided to change our names last night.
Cat Drugs?
Apparently.
Okay. Oh, because I talked about shadow work in the unconscious mind. Is that why?
I don't know why.
No, it was a prank. It was a prank for entertainment for herself. That's the transgender person who's living in Japan.
Well, all I have is what I noticed, and that is my name is now Cat Drugs. That's the truth right there. That's my cat. That's my name now. So I don't like what I see.
Yeah, you can change it back by going into the profile settings for this server. So you can change it. Hey, mine was changed to Bust a Nut. So consider yourself lucky with the name you got. I was busting nut, bro.
They're gonna change me to Mitchie Dead.
So Cat Drugs, all right, cool.
It's okay to have a little fun too.
The truth is watching us.
Me change it into lies radio.
The truth is watching us.
I'm pretty sure she didn't change the one of the name of Benedictine, though.
The truth is out there. All we have to do is pay attention.
Brothers, thank you, bro.
He's gonna be false TV.
Brothers, I feel inside of me there's something wrong with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Things are definitely changing.
I feel it, bro. I feel there's something wrong with the world, you know.
Yeah, but I don't think you even need to like have something mystical inside you. You just need to put a fucking documentary and see something that is eating alive something else, and you can go like, there's something wrong here.
Just tell the truth. That's it. Just tell the truth. Whatever you notice, just tell the truth. That's why it's called Benedictine the truth. It's not called Benedictine the unicorn. It's Benedictine the truth.
Yes.
Yeah. But I miss when he said the vegan.
So who likes my profile?
Man, I think one thing that's really hard is there is some beautiful things that you come across in this life at the same time.
Yes,
Like
it is
things
beautiful.
that keep you coming back, you know. I mean, it makes it that much more confusing. It's almost like a tease sometimes.
Yes, it's like beautiful and cruel in the same time. It's like milk and coffee, and you mix them, you know.
Yep.
Yes, milk and coffee, and you mix them, you will get
Or it's like in Ice White Sat or in other movies, in some other movies, they show that someone is playing the most beautiful classical music, and at the same time someone is getting tortured. I think the elite are into that crap, to be honest, because it is seen in some movies. Like I saw it in Suspiria, for example, which is a horror movie, which I don't consider good, but most horror movies are awful. And in terms of like shocking you or being disturbing, Suspiria is very disturbing. And in that movie, someone is like getting flayed, getting skinned alive, and there is like an orchestra playing at the same time. And in Ice White Sat, they also do a similar thing. Like the guy that goes in like to be the piano player will make music while these people are like doing orgies, and we know that in the real world they are actually killing people. They are not just like fucking each other.
Yes,
that's a good point.
That's true.
It's like you go into the ocean and you see the beautiful waves, and you just want to go for a swim, and you get your leg bitten off by a shark.
Yes, that's true.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
And that thing that they do in the movies where they're doing those two opposing ideas at the same time, like playing the classical music while somebody's being tortured, and then the blood spurts off onto some cute little kittens. That's an intentional thing, like technique. That's an actual technique to desensitize people and make associations where there normally shouldn't be any. So that's intentional. That's intentional, and it's a technique, and it's widely used. And now that you know that, look for it. You'll see it everywhere.
There's
Good
this
point.
YouTube video called Battle at Kruger, and it's basically a bunch of buffaloes get into a huge fight with some alligators, and the buffalo, they lose one of their young like calves. It's getting eaten by the alligator, and it's this tug of war, just absolute chaos happening. And the buffaloes end up getting the calf back. Like the calf is completely fine. And like that's some really cool shit. Like the whole herd showed up for that calf, and they ended up winning that fight. But that's war. It was beautiful that happened, but just along what you were saying, beautiful and crazy at the same time.
I have seen those videos. They are very uncommon. Like very infrequently, you will find that like the prey will realize that we are big in numbers and we can take on the lion or something. It's very rare. But when it happens, like the lions or whatever, they will run off very quickly because they would be killed by all those otherwise prey.
Brothers, I just want to say that why this is happening to us. Why this is happening to us.
I think it's the unconscious mind making up shit. It's the unconscious mind versus the conscious mind, and we only see the real. We don't see the fake world anywhere. The fake world cannot be found anywhere. The shadow cannot be found anywhere. So when we tell the truth and report what we notice,
bro. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the pain and the misery of life, the pain and suffering of life. Why this is happening to us? Why we feel pain? Why we are suffering? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So according to Schopenhauer, the philosopher, I'm just going to throw out something that I read. I read a lot about Schopenhauer. He wrote a huge ass book that is called The World as Will and Manifestation. Okay. So in terms of the world as manifestation, that's not very interesting to me, at least, and that was denser philosophy, so it was harder to understand. I just skipped it. I read it a little bit, but I really had interest in the world as will. So the part of the book that is about the world as will explains, maybe, in his opinion, the origin of pain. So the origin of pain and suffering, similar to the idea of the scientists, is because we are made of lust for existence. We are made of an essence that really wants to exist. This is why we are so scared of dying. So he says that every time that your body is having heat or cold, or is having a wound, is wounded, is harmed, you will feel pain because your body is like the materialization of your will to exist. This is why when you fuck a woman, you will feel, at least when you are the youngest, that is the most incredible pleasure one can experience in this reality, without fentanyl or without those kind of drugs which supposedly are higher than an orgasm. So the reason why you feel such intense pleasure with sex is because, according to Schopenhauer, you are made of will to exist, and when you reproduce, that will of existing is like saying, oh, we are carrying on to the next generation. So Schopenhauer said that the origin of pain is similar to Buddhism, the same idea. It's because we are attached to life. It's like we are in love with life, even though life is, in some ways, is horrible. So the salvation to Schopenhauer was similar to Buddha. But basically meditating, poverty, not having sex, not eating meat. But the thing about Schopenhauer, he never did it. He himself didn't live that life. So I didn't like that personally.
Brothers,
I think it's happening to us because we have minds that just aren't afraid to ask the deepest questions, and we refuse to do anything but get to the deepest root, even if it costs us everything. So we're going to experience the wrath.
brothers, can you give me just a little time to complete all my ideas? Just a little time. You know, I feel that something inside of me is screaming. It's like when the life, the pain and suffering. I'm 24 years old. All the suffering and pain, all the suffering and pain through this 24 years old, you know, it's like rage inside of me, you know. I want to revenge from life. Why you do this to me? What I have did to experience all that pain and suffering in my life, you know what I'm saying? So
I comment on this.
so I want to revenge from life, you know, and I want to ask God, why this is happening to me? Why you let me suffer in this world? Why there is pain and suffering and misery in this world? Why existence is not fair? Why we don't live a happy, respectful life? Why there is no justice? Why you let us here? Why? You know.
If there is a creator or a god, we should be enemies of it, obviously.
Yes. I believe that every one of us deserve a happy, respectful life, you know, full of joy and happiness.
Maybe, but if everyone is happy, nobody is happy. Like this world is based on polarities. Have you ever thought that because someone is ugly, someone else is handsome? If everyone was handsome, if everyone was good looking, nobody would be good looking. This is how this reality works. So that is something to keep in mind. A reality in which everyone is happy is impossible, because the happiness of people is normally predicated on the unhappiness of others. In many, not I wouldn't say always, but most of the time.
But that's not justice. That's not fair. It's not fair. Yes.
People are different. Some people like suffering. That's why people bodybuild. They like that pain. And then some people get bored. Chaos, so they have something to do. And then other people don't need anything and they could just chill and they'd be happy with that. So I just think everybody's different. And we refuse to think that everybody's different. I think Benedictine has talked about that before. Like you got to give some weight to people's perspective, no matter how much you don't agree with them.
He has talked about that. Yeah, sometimes this is good to me, Mehdi, like relativism. Because I sometimes look at people and we say, yeah, those are NPCs, those are normies, but not really. Like, they have sentience. It's just like they have a completely different perspective. They are not like completely stupid. Some of them are obviously more intelligent than me. So what personally helps me is realizing that even though I can believe that life is hell, but I know people that don't believe that life is hell, and they are not stupid. They can argue well to some extent that life is not hell, and they are not experiencing hell. That's the most important thing. They are not experiencing.
Do you think that's because of just the experience that they've had in their own life that has shaped that?
I think it has a lot to do with it, to be honest. Like the story of Buddha, for example, which is a myth, probably, but supposedly the Gautama Buddha was super good looking, super wealthy, perfect health, and he went out one day and he saw that that old people existed. He didn't know that old people existed. He didn't know that disease existed. He didn't know that poverty existed. He saw a corpse and he was like asking the servant, what is that in the road? And the person was like, that is a dead body. One day you will be dead too. And supposedly Buddha was like, oh, fuck it. Fuck being handsome, fuck being wealthy, fuck all of this. I'm going to go into a mountain, I'm going to meditate. But I feel like personally for my life, if I had a good life, I probably wouldn't have this perspective. So I would need to have like a perfect life and still believe that life is hell to be like, yeah, objectively, my opinion on the hell realm is not biased.
Brothers. If there is a God, this God, why he don't create a perfect world where he loves us, he gives us a hug,
His world is perfect.
he care about us.
His world is perfect.
He says to us.
Hey, Tino.
He says to us.
He's trying to say something, but I think his volume is very low or something.
Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hear you, bro.
Yeah, I've said that it is perfect. The world's perfect.
The world is perfect.
Yes, sir.
I don't think the world is perfect, bro.
That's your opinion.
Yes, it's okay, It's okay to have...
Yeah, but you don't have to keep on going on about how the world's such a bad place,
Why,
Maybe it's because it's not. Maybe it's because there is no God. Maybe God didn't design this. It might not even be the right question. You keep saying, like, why does God make us suffer so much? Why didn't he create a perfect world? Maybe there wasn't a God that created this world. Maybe it wasn't that just one thing that decided that.
Yeah. You have to also see like what ideas you're interjecting to make you describe what you're feeling, because that also is like due to wherever your own personal experiences in life. You know, you might be interjecting a God who's creating this bad experience for you personally that isn't perfect. And that's your opinion. I'm not trying to deny your opinion, right? I'm saying that you have to understand where that's coming from, first of all, and then kind of like deconstruct it within yourself. And it's kind of just boring for all the rest of us to just hear you keep on going on about how it's a hell, because we all have our own little hells that we're trying to deal with. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's important to see whether our own internal world is hell, because Tino said that in the debate with Benedictines. I barely watched it, but I watched that part. And even though I don't agree with Tino in the idea that this world is not hell, I wish to defend that. But personally, I agree with him that if your internal world is hell, you don't have an objective opinion. So I personally don't have an objective opinion. I admit that. Like, I don't have good mental health. So I cannot claim to have an objective opinion. So it would be good if we first like heal our problems prior to like trying to make any generalization.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has good mental health at all. So I feel like it's not even that question. I feel like you just look within yourself, and because within yourself you are describing it, you're coming out with that statement. You then have to bring it back in and then ask, within yourself, which, you can already be aware of. But, like, it's just weird to say, because I don't know how people practice their lives or live their lives to actually, we just kind of have these conversations when they come and go.
Brothers.
Yeah, because I think that's a strong trait to have as well. I mean, you refuse to come to a conclusion on some things. That is okay. You are keeping all possibilities on the table instead of just rationally deciding, this is what I think. Nobody can tell me anything different. I think it's important to keep all possibilities.
Yeah, especially in these topics that nobody really knows the ultimate truth at all.
Brothers, I hate life.
No, maybe, but
life.
do you hate your life or do you hate life?
I hate life. This world, I hate it. You know why I hate it? Because I'm not a handsome man, and I'm not.
Rich?
I don't have a good shape of body, and
Yeah, but you can get a good shape of body with some exercise.
I hate working. I hate job, and I don't have beautiful house. I don't have beautiful car. I don't have beautiful woman. I don't live in a nice place.
I'm the same.
These are money driven goals.
You're 24 years old. You're 24 years old. What do you expect?
Brother, let me please finish.
In a war zone. Sorry.
Yes. I don't have a beautiful place. This life beat me with pain and suffering.
None of us have any of those things you're talking about.
Maybe he's trying to say, why is it on him to figure all this out? Like, he didn't ask for any of this, right? I mean, yeah, you can do exercise and get a better shape, but this is now his problem. All these things that weigh so heavily, he has no choice but to address them in some way. And when somebody can't figure it out, we fucking trash them.
Exactly. That's what happened to me.
Yeah, because it's I don't know, it's the religion of natural selection. People go with that fucking religion. But maybe some of the things you are saying sound like you don't like your life. But it's one thing to not like your life, and it's another to say I don't like life in general.
I think existence is itself. There's something wrong with existence.
Yeah.
When we eat, when we drink, why we go to the toilet? Why we can't escape that part? It's like this. This is
Love sleep.
the creator. If there is a creator, why he created us to go to the toilet? Why when we eat? Why when we eat? They simply disappears. The food inside of our stomach disappears without go to the toilet because he is instructing us like that. You know why this life is not filled with joy and happiness? Why we don't live a respectful life? Why there's pain, misery, homeless people, poverty?
Wait,
Why
mean-
are they start of that?
Do
Why?
you want to answer? Do you want to answer, man?
What?
No, because I understand what Mitch was saying, that people like jump down on people's throats when they're trying to figure things out. And I do have an
If someone goes on a date with you and you say I don't have it figured out, that person leaves. Basically. Or they can.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they will.
jumping down your throat, but like, do you want to answer or do you just want to keep on ranting? I don't get it.
I'm just experiencing myself, bro. You know.
Okay, that's fine.
I have a question. For you. I want to hear your thoughts, Tino, as well. Everybody's. How much can we weigh our own life with society and other people's life? I mean, truth is probably somebody that doesn't like to see other people suffer. Maybe it's not just his own life, but how much can we weigh our life experiences?
I don't like to see people suffering. I can't see a lion eats a gazelle, you know. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I have the same problem, but to be honest, I personally do feel well when I perform better than others at a task. So that is a very human experience. The winner will experience pleasure from victory, from seeing others lose. So I think even Mehdi will probably experience that.
Just to respond to Mitch, I think it depends what you want from society and to what extent you have to participate. To the best extent, you don't really want to interact with people who aren't conscious because they will cause you pain because they're not conscious, and you're going to feel that pain more because you are conscious. But then it's also this topsy-turvy world where to learn about yourself, you obviously do have to interact with people. So you're going to kind of have to see unconscious people in a different way in relation to yourself. And, a lot of these unconscious people are causing pain and not caring about it. And, if you want things from life, like you want money, you want a family, you're going to have to interact, you're going to have to do things to get that. But if you don't want those things, then you're not going to have those things take up your time. But at the end of the day, you're an animal. So your drive to have a family, your drive to have a home, your drive to do X, Y, and Z is always going to be there. So again, it's this topsy-turvy thing. You can't escape
For most things, you need other people. Even if you're a weirdo that you want to write a book on science and that's your life's work, you will probably need to network with other people. So we will always need to be part of a society for most things, in my opinion.
I mean, and this is kind of like a type of society, because I guess there may be one or two people in the whole Discord who don't have anyone to interact with except for maybe in this Discord, and in other different.
You don't interact with anybody.
Internet. Yeah, exactly.
So why have we been so?
Well, it's just
I don't want to use the term like blessed or lucky, but why have we been given the ability to see other people's perspectives so deeply that we're able to see these things that other people don't? And like you said, you can't wake other people up that are unconscious most times. So why are we even able to see other people's perspectives without meeting them?
It might just be, just like a evolutionary, bug or feature of some people and some other people,
Or is it as simple as we've had such a fulfilling life ourselves? We think that we've had so many experiences that we do think we know other people's perspective, but really we might not know shit.
Exactly.
I mean, if you mean if you're sympathize with someone, I mean, that's what I was kind of talking about.
Brothers.
We've experienced it. You don't know what anyone's experienced.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
I feel something inside of me.
It's still pain. You
You know.
feel your body. You
splinter
need
of
to
your
feel your body. You need to feel your body, bro. You need to feel.
It's the splinter of your mind.
Yeah, you need to feel
That's
your
driving
body.
you mad.
Where do you feel it? Where do you feel it? Where do you feel it?
Just go start running outside.
That's what I used to do.
No, where do you feel this? Where do you feel this in your body?
No, inside my soul. There is something inside my soul.
Just be still.
He want to fly. You know. He want to.
I can't help this guy.
Inside of you, there is something that want to come out. You know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're talking about, in my opinion, it's like that idea of the divine spark of the Gnostics that supposedly feels out of place here. Like the Manichaeans also talked about this, that some people have particles of light that are trapped in darkness. So I think this is a little bit the thing with Mehdi. He thinks his soul is out of place here.
I think it could be his gut feeling, and he's just unable to do anything about it. The circumstances he could be in, and a lot of people would feel that way. They know what they want to do. They just do not have the strength to do it. They know what they want to say to that person or that girl, but they just don't have the strength to do it. And
So you're saying it could be all that he's talking about being rich or nice car. It could be simply that he is unable to do something about that is causing that feeling.
I think so. I think that could be crazy.
Yeah.
When they know what they want, when they know what they...
To be fair, I could try and break it down. It's kind of like, if you're not achieving these things in life, right, you're going to feel like, at the end of the day, like, let's say you can't find a girlfriend or something, you're going to feel like, just naturally as a human male, that, you can't reproduce and carry on your offspring. So you're going to have that anxiety of, wanting to reproduce but not being able to. If you can't get the living place that you want to, just as a human being, you're going to have that anxiety. In this day and age, you have so many
brothers.
You end up saying,
brother.
You end up being an instant martyr.
Brother, with all my respect, fuck reproducing. I don't care about breaking somebody innocent into this evil world, I don't think about it.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean to say, but I want to fuck hot girls, obviously. So in that regard, I am genetically normal. But
It's okay.
I don't want to bring people into this world. I don't have that impulse in me, for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. It's okay to have girlfriends, but to break kids into this world, that's very evil, So.
Tino, that's what you were saying. How much is that a primal feeling within us? Like, how much of that anxiety that you were talking about is gut feeling and primal that we need to do this? And are we comparing that to society's norms about what we should do?
In my opinion, it is us. Like, that drive is us. Like, Schopenhauer, a German philosopher, he called it the will to life. This will to keep on going on as if we are immortal. So our genes want to be immortal, so they want us to reproduce. Therefore, they create this desire to life to keep on.
Not necessarily just reproducing, but it could be anything. The anxiety,
skepticos.
Yeah, the will to life is like an underlying force of reality. Like, everything has this will to exist. So, in that way,
I believe we have this gut feeling. It comes from this gut feeling that we have it really is something supernatural, and it's a hard balance trying to, figure out how much weight you should put in that and make a decision off of that, or if your mind is just playing tricks on you. I mean, you don't. Exactly. A lot of people would say you don't want to make decisions off emotions, right? But how can we balance that with this primal feeling, this gut feeling?
It's a good
I
point.
mean, you just make decisions, and then if you have the chance to,
I would like to continue listening, but I do have to go. So I'm going to go. I wanted to weigh in, but I think we got off the weigh in part with society, and it went down to Schopenhauer. So I mean, I got to go walk my dog, but maybe I'll come
Carl
back.
Jung's word at. What's that? Carl
Thank
Jung's words at.
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Sorry about
Later,
that, Bus.
guys.
It's hard to get a word in around here.
Yeah, it's all right. That's why you put the mic off. That's why we need a speaking stick of some sort, so people take turns speaking their piece. You know, when there's 4 people, it's easy. You can chime in, and people are like, "Oh, she's got something to say," and they listen. But you know, when there's like 8, it gets hard. You got to start having like, you know, go clockwise on the screen order or something. I don't know.
There must be
Yeah,
there must be a program or something for that. I
Part of
mean,
that,
it's not,
part of
it
that
couldn't
could be
be
my
that
fault
hard.
too.
there needs to be like mods,
But-
and then you just have to give them.
Later, guys.
Yeah, part of that is my fault too, because my thoughts go 1,000 miles an hour, and I don't know. you guys go down your deep rabbit holes of your philosophy and everything, which I
I feel
respect.
he could have. Do you feel like he couldn't have replied at any point in that?
Busta or me?
Buster?
I think he could have, but definitely it's kind of hard to not cut somebody off and know when it's your turn, you know. And this is also just a casual conversation, but I think he had a good point. You know, it'd be really interesting to do like a live podcast, you know, something like that.
Yeah, no problem. If you ever want to just host one, I'll talk about any topic. I don't mind. I like thinking about these topics. As long as it's a good topic, but you know, I was told by someone that it's just at the end of the day, it's just 2 people talking for hours.
One thing I'm good at is asking questions and just getting thoughts on the table. I mean, I'm not like the deepest philosopher, but I love conversations like this, so I'm trying to find my way with it.
Yep.
Brothers, there is something wrong with this life. I feel it. There's
Me too.
something wrong. There is something wrong with this life. I feel it. I swear, I feel it.
It's like a splinter in your mind driving you mad.
It's like feeling inside your heart. You know, there is something wrong with this life. You know.
I think a lot of times you just feel like you can't really do what you want to do.
You know, there is injustice in this world. You know, there is poverty in this world. You know that this world is corrupt. You know that this life is unfair. You know that when you watch, when you watch, yes, bro.
Wait,
Go.
Benedictine, are you here? I'll just check in. No, you can continue.
Yes, thanks, brother. You know that when you see a lion eats a gazelle, that's disgusting. You know that you want to live a happy life without suffering, without 9 to 5 job. You want to be, how to describe it? There's no word to describe it. Unbelievable. Yes, brothers, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Wait, before I joined, you just did this for hours.
Yes, brother.
We just have to be honest with ourselves and what we want. We can't lie to ourselves anymore. That's
true.
We can't lie to ourselves. We have to tell it like it is.
But Truth TV, do you have any simple pleasures in life? Any simple pleasures?
Playing video games.
Okay,
Eating well. Eating well. Dress well.
Eating what?
Train, dress well. Dress, clothes.
Oh, dressing well.
dressing well, yes. Training. A lot of things. There's a lot of things I want to do, but I am. I don't have a lot of. I don't have a lot of money or a lot
You're
of.
smart, guy.
I don't live in place
You're
where
smart,
there
guy.
is. Sorry, bro. I don't live in place where there is opportunities. I live in Algeria. You know, Algeria is very bad. It's the third world. You know, USA. If I were in USA, maybe there's opportunities. But here, it's a fucked up country. You
Can I
know.
ask one question? Can I ask a question?
Yes, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Do you have like laptop?
I have not laptop, but a phone. You know, a phone.
Okay, just phone.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you're doing the right things, man. You like having deep conversations too, right? I mean, you're asking.
He has a point though, because I think like maybe his situation, you want to improve your actual living situation as well, and you feel like if you were in a different country, your living situation would be better. And you know, at the end of the day, being in a more stable country allows you to think about these things even more. And that's even like a side effect that you don't even think about. Like you think about the ancient Greek philosophers, like, you know, at their peak, they're in the most stable, you know, like almost utopia, able to think these ideas, you know, as the world's become more like this.
Brothers,
These internal feelings, they're gonna follow you wherever you go. I mean, this is not just look for another job in a different country. These are like,
he has a point. You have to release yourself from this.
Brothers. I want this existence to respect human beings, you know. To respect human beings. Each one of us deserves to live a happy, respectful life, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Or honest lives.
Yes. Happiness comes from knowing the truth, from being honest with yourself, you know. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, go ahead.
if there is a God, he must be oppressor. You know what? Why he must be oppressor? Because look at this injustice in the world. Look at the poverty in the world. Look at the wars in the world. You know what I'm saying? Why he is doing that to us? Why he don't love us? Why he don't care about us? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
I think good and evil is a very outdated paradigm. I think we need to move on from it and start telling it like it's report what we notice, what we see, and not judging it as good or bad, but like what we see actually. And for this, there's a lot of suffering. So Tino was right, I think. Yeah, what we see, not what's good or evil, but because we can't find who the good and bad people are. We don't know who they are. What we can see is what we could tell is the truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury.
Nietzsche had a quote about things being like, every action is baptized in eternity beyond good and evil. So, you know, in eternity, you know, there's no morality. And, you know, if you think the world is as infinite, as eternal as it is, there really isn't any morality. Obviously, you can't even imagine that. But if a being was looking at things from an immortal, eternal perspective, there'll be no need to consider morality in looking at any event. It'll just look at it, like we said, beyond good and evil. But to look at life that way as a human being is difficult. So you want to call it a hell? I'm not doing this debate again.
It's difficult when you actually give a shit.
It's a realm filled with liars. It's filled with too many lies in it. There's people that just lie like how we all lie, but we have to tell the truth.
We all lie. And for me as well,
brother, we lie.
But talk about it.
Brothers, there is some big lies and there is some very mini lies. You know, there's big liars and there is small stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's difference. You know.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of half truths.
Yes.
Yeah, the half truths are the most dangerous. So,
what is this vast void that we have created when you're speaking with somebody else that you can't tell them exactly how you feel? I understand that you want to be conscious of their feelings and approach different things in different ways, especially sensitive topics. But don't you think if we just approached it to where we had no filter whatsoever,
Exactly.
that
No
could
filter
lead us?
matter.
I think there are practices where you can do that, but I think they're very
Yeah, like this. This is great, but like
But
corporate America,
this isn't
I
in
think just
person.
killed that.
This isn't in person, and I've never been to one of these in-person things. But I think in person, discussing these ideas. But I don't know the level of work that goes into being able to host something like this in person and get
Yeah,
things
that's a
out
good
of it
point.
to talk about.
That's a good point. I
really
mean,
I think that's the next step. But at the end of the day, you know,
and that's why. Hold on, Truth. That's why people go crazy on social media and they think they can just say whatever they want to because they don't have to see that person face to face, right? So
They're
there's
putting on
definitely
a
something
mask.
to be said about that.
They're putting on a mask. That's the point.
But what is this? What is this like? You know, what am I trying to say? What is this feeling that we've created to where somebody feels like they can do that? Is there a name for it? Is it narcissism? Is it being scared to just talk to this person face to face? Like,
I've watched hundreds of narcissism videos. I think that goes back to the whole good versus evil thing. We don't know who the good or bad guys are. We keep saying, "Oh, that's a bad person. That's a bad person. That's a bad person." We don't know who those people are. All we can judge people is by their actions, not by what they say.
It's like brother. It's like the Joker. We don't know what he survived. What he how to say it? What he he saw, what he felt, what the pain and suffering he has to endure in this life that turned him into a beast. You know what I'm saying? Yes, bro. Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel you can. If your situation is bad, you need to think immediately of what you can do to fix your situation, and that's just like I don't know, like that's difficult, but that's every human being naturally just needs to think about, okay, what the fuck am I going to do? It doesn't, even if you're in a fucking first world country, don't even get it twisted. A lot of people here are literally as poor as you, basically. I'm not going to lie. They might just have a fucking laptop and an iPhone, literally. And they always think that if they're smart, they're going to think, okay, fuck, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do tomorrow? You know, and two, you're 24 as well. I understand like your country's shit, but I don't know. Think how you can improve your situation immediately.
Brothers, I think life didn't respect us. You know, life didn't respect us. You know what I'm saying?
Truth, would you say you respect your own life?
No, life didn't respect us.
Life owes you nothing. Life owes you nothing, and you owe nothing to life. You have to not owe anything to life. All this complaining that you're doing, you're giving it all up to life, right? You have to take it.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm saying the truth. The truth. Life is cruel. You know, life is shit. You know what I'm saying?
We agree with you on a lot of that stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Life is shit and beautiful at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
So
a lot of it is just figuring out where you want to go. You might have to make a decision about what it is you want next, you know. Then you can start putting some steps together to make your life better.
And plus, when you do the things you enjoy, life isn't really that bad. So just try and do the things you enjoy more. By the end of the day, logically, just try and improve your situation however you can. And if that does,
that's actually, yeah, and that's not an easy question to ask yourself. I never understood when people said that's easy. Like, well, what do you want? I mean, have you ever asked yourself, what do I want?
Video games, playing, making,
I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth, and I want to be happy. I want to be respected.
You'll never get the truth. You'll never be happy. You'll never be respected.
What'd you say on it?
On what again? Oh, no, my name. Someone's reversed my name in this server. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's Tito.
Yeah, but whatever.
I like on it. He's on it.
Fun,
Were you talking to me? I think I misheard you. I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Yeah, I was, but now I forgot what I said.
Hey guys, it's good to meet you guys. I'm just stopping by.
Good to see you.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Eric. I started following Benedict's channel first. And, I'm into all this stuff as well, guys. So you guys not alone. There's a lot of people waking up, and I'm one of them. So
welcome, brother. Welcome to this big family of truthers. Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Yes. So we were discussing that we are in deep shit in this life, We are in shit,
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Yes, it's fucking nightmare. Fuck this life. Fuck this world. Fuck this country. Fuck everything, Fuck. I hate it.
It's a nightmare.
I hate this fucking life.
I'm starting to love it.
Yes, I hate it and I love it in the same time. I just don't know,
I feel you. But hey, guys, look. The way I look at it is, I mean,
you know something.
What up, man? Let him talk.
Yes.
Eric just got here.
That's okay.
Let him say something.
That's okay. I'm only gonna take a short while, so I'm super busy. I'm gonna definitely check out y'all in the future. But yeah, I mean, I'm new to this, so forgive me if I'm like saying the wrong stuff. But yeah, I think we all this. Yeah, this is a gift, right? I think we got a gift. I know it's scary, right? It's crazy, right? It's like a dream almost, but we got a gift. I think I really believe that we have a gift, and it's possible that we're here to spread that gift. But yeah, it's frustrating, right? It's confusing. It's 1 minute you're doubtful, right? You're doubtful, or oh man, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are empaths, or some you have a love in your heart. I'm pretty sure that, right?
I'm a truth. I'm not an empath. I'm a truth teller.
You're a truth teller. I feel it. I feel you. Yeah. Truth seeker, truth teller.
Eric, what do you mean by we have a gift?
Okay, what I mean by that is that I believe we've been given a gift, or I don't know if our higher self is waking us up this year. Something woke me up this year. Maybe I'll tell a story in the future. Something woke me up this year. Something was nudging me. Synchronicities, patterns. I picked it up.
No such thing as a coincidence.
No coincidence. And like I said, I come from an entertainment background. I don't even give a fuck about that shit right now. Like, it's like right now I'm into this because this is real. Like, something's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if the matrix is breaking apart. The VO is being kind of slowly broken apart. Maybe we're just more in tune to it, and we see it. Yep. And so I know, but I'm in the hit, but I thank you. I just listen to me. Look, I thank you guys. You guys probably been into this way longer than me. So some of y'all probably dated. I get it. I'm new to this, but I need you guys. I need people like you because I feel alone as well. So I'll leave it at that. But I thank you guys.
We love you, brother. We love you. Welcome to the family, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Empathy is an outdated solution. We need to move beyond good and evil. I mean, we need to stop trying to be good and start telling the truth. Good people do bad things too.
I agree.
And bad people do good things. Yep.
I feel you. I agree.
I think it's a gift and a curse.
Here's a final destination. So
yeah.
Brothers, you know something?
Never once.
I love Tupac. I love Tupac because he loves the truth. He loves saying the truth to everybody,
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel you.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question before I go, guys. What do y'all think? I know we've been distracted right now with the drones and all that shit. What do y'all got? What are y'all perception on that? Like, what are y'all thoughts on the drones and all that shit?
The drones.
Yeah.
1984. 1984. That's what I think.
Okay.
What drones?
Surveillance.
Yeah, drones. Another psyp op maybe or something like that.
What drones?
Yeah, if we don't tell the truth, it will break through and it will be nasty. It will just be really nasty. So,
yeah, what drones are you talking about?
The drones in the United States. It's a lot of spectacle shit going on.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the drone wars? Is that what you're talking about?
The drones that's been flying over the
No, I know what you're
the
talking
East
about.
Coast. Yeah.
Tell.
It could be staged. It could be something as stupid as guys just playing with their toys, or maybe they're staging something much deeper. But really, why do we even need drones? Why is this an issue? It's because we can't stop playing and
We're an empire of lies. We're a nation. We're a society of lies. We are bathing in the sweet lies, and we cannot face the harsh truths. That's what we cannot handle the truth at all. Everyone runs away from the truth. Everyone wants.
You need lies.
Say
You
more
need
about the
lies,
truth.
man. Why?
Brothers, brothers, I just want to say that when you see a lion eats a gazelle, that's very, very disgusting, you know.
I think it's beautiful.
Disgusting, you know. I hate, you know, when I see homeless people, when I see poverty, when I see injustice, when I see
We got to tell the truth
wars,
about it.
when
We got to tell
I
the truth all
see
about it.
what truth all about it.
We got to tell the truth about that there is war and poverty. Not that it's a bad thing, but it exists. That's it. That it clearly exists. We got to stop pretending these people don't exist. I walk into Dunkin' every morning. I see a homeless couple out there. I give them $20 one time and said, "God bless you." Well, maybe I should have said, "Truth bless them." But I don't know. I saw it was bugging me, and I had to do something about it. So
Yeah.
You have good
that's
heart,
an issue
brother.
that seems like it's coming to a boiling head right now as well. Just homelessness in general.
You know
I think the government wants homeless people because they want the average person to see what happens if you do not conform to society.
Yep.
Which is why they won't fix it. And there's a lot of money.
Brothers, I know one thing. If there is a God, he must be an operator. He must be, he don't care about us. He must be the best.
God loves you.
He must be a beast, you know.
No,
God's just a label. That's just a label people made up. It's a story people made up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's good versus evil. It's just a story.
You know something? You can't prove it or disprove it, you know. You know what I'm saying? You can't
We got to
prove
get our
it.
power back, and I'm sure I know some of y'all got different philosophies. We all kind of have our own little different philosophy. That's fine. For me, it's I agree with Kat and with Mitch. We got to get our power back. You know, we keep looking up to the sky, but we got to look into ourselves, right? That's my philosophy.
I believe we have to report what we notice, not what we think, what we notice. The mind makes up shit. It lies and lies and lies. What we see does not lie us. If we were telling the truth about what we see, that's it. What we see, that's it. Completely it. That's how we tell the truth. We need stop thinking and start noticing. Notice more, think less. That's my what I believe.
I feel
yes, to live in the moment, you know, to live in to be realistic as possible. You can.
Yeah. The education system teaches us to think. It teaches us to completely think. All thinking has done is fucked up my life. It has fucked everything up. I drove everybody away from me. That is the truth right there, because I was thinking instead of noticing. And I was if I paid attention, I would have seen what was going on around me.
Yes, that's true. That happened to me. That happened to me a lot.
I am not a victim.
My internal world started getting better when I started trusting myself more, as opposed to comparing myself to other people.
That's true. That's true.
Not every decision I make is right, but I think trusting your gut instinct, like we talked about, I think that goes a long way. You start to learn yourself more. You start refusing things that you just don't align with, and you do start becoming more thoughtful in general.
Yep.
Thinking too much will get you in trouble. Your ego, all that shit, it fucked my life up. True me. So I agree with all you guys. Thinking too much or thinking hard, pretty much. You got to you got to quiet the mind. Quiet the mind, right?
Thinking is lying. Unconscious mind lies. The conscious mind, it tells the truth. That's my oversimplification. You can disagree with it. That's my oversimplification of it. The conscious mind tells the truth. The unconscious mind lies. That's about it. Or notice more, think less.
Okay.
So that's what I believe. Tell the truth. Research Brad Blanton. Brad Blanton had a huge TED Talk about it. It's called How to Get Over Shit and Be Happy. That's a TED Talk he had. You can check that out.
Okay.
I put it on the counter. The other one.
Brothers, I just want to say, fuck this world, fuck this life, fuck this existence, and fuck everything, you know.
Truth, I love your passion, man. You're just kind of repeating yourself a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does somebody want to propose a question, maybe, and we kind of talk about it?
Repetition is key. Well, so
yeah, he got his message across. That's for sure. Passionate. I like that.
You got repetition is key. All the narcissism videos, they had repetition in it. That's how it's stuck in my mind right there. But we need to move beyond good versus evil. This is truth versus fiction. People want the truth badly. That's about, we don't know what the hell the truth is anymore because we lie so much.
Let me ask you this. What happens when the unconscious mind, you said that's the truth, correct?
No, the unconscious mind lies. The conscious mind, it tells the truth. The unconscious mind lies. That's the point. And in fact, it can lie. That it's like, don't think about it. Notice. Does the unconscious mind, I think, wants money? That's what's money more than anything. The conscious mind wants love. The conscious mind sees love everywhere. The unconscious mind is a fake world. It sees money everywhere. That's what it sees. The unconscious mind.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question about that. Go ahead. So, like, would you say the conscious mind is the same thing as that gut feeling?
Yeah, the conscious mind is basically exchanging information with the unconscious mind in the form of dreams and stuff. So the unconscious mind will run information by the conscious mind in the form of dreams, and the conscious mind has to debunk it, basically, or figure out something in the middle, which is the subconscious mind. That's my interpretation of it.
Okay, so how much weight put conscious mind? Because the conscious mind can be incorrect sometimes, correct?
If you're thinking, that's the point. If you're thinking, you're really engaging into the unconscious. We don't like what we see. Nobody likes what we see. The society rewards thinking. The school system teaches people to think. But that's just engaging. Really, it's engaging the unconscious mind.
Right?
Yeah, it's just thinking. That's the point.
And think like everybody else.
Just thinking. Period. That's it. Not necessarily just think about everyone, just the thinking period. That's my take on it. I can be completely wrong about it.
I disagree with that. I think it teaches you to not think and to just do what you're told. But like, my question is, how can somebody get to a point where they trust their gut instinct so much that they will not align with anything that doesn't suit them? I mean, I feel like a lot of people they don't trust that conscious feelings or thoughts that they're getting, and it causes so many issues for people.
Yeah. Well, just the least you can do. It's not. It'll be difficult first. The least you can do is just pay attention. That's the one. Just pay attention, notice more, and think less. That's what you can. That's my practice mindfulness if you have to. But yeah.
Really, think less.
Think less and notice more. Yeah.
I agree. Don't the Bible mention? And I'm not quoting the Bible as a sense of religious spectrum. I got away from religion, but don't the Bible mention, as you be quiet and you will know, something like that. Stay still and God will be revealed, so to speak. So if you stay still, be quiet. That's God in the sense of your consciousness. I guess that's what. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
I follow you.
Cat. Yeah. What Cat mentioned, yeah, right. Like, so be still, so to speak. Be quiet. Focus on the patterns. It's the secret.
My question is, how much can we trust that? Can we get to a point? Can we get to a point where we are all in on this, or?
Yeah. Just to pay attention to what you notice. We're all trying to be smart and all that. We need to get dumber than a bag of nails. We need to get dumb our lives down. We need to dumb the world down. We need to get dumber than a bag of nails and report what we see, just like children. Like children, we need to report exactly what we see, not what the mind says. The mind will say anything. It'll make up stories out of everything, what we notice. So I'll give an example. Yesterday I was at CVS. I ran into an old rival. This was somebody who hated my guts. He used to scream at me, used to call me gay, fag, all these other names. So he was very chill, and we had a good chat. That's what I noticed. Now the mind says, oh, this person still hates me. This person still hates me. This was yesterday. This person, that's not what I noticed. There's a complete difference between what I thought and what I noticed right there. Noticing is better. The lying gets you in trouble. Telling the truth gets you in trouble. The best kind of getting in trouble is when you tell the truth. And that's what I noticed yesterday was that interaction was completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
So your gut feeling was wrong on that.
My unconscious mind, the fake world, the capitalism world, the money world, that was wrong. The love world, love, empathy, all that other stuff, not narcissism. The love, empathy world, the conscious mind was right. That's the point. What I noticed was right. So
like, when he was calling you those things and doing that to you,
well, this person, this is somebody who, this was 10 years ago. I forgive him. Hate the sin, love the sinner. I don't think this was a bad person. I did a lot of the stuff I accused him of doing. I did too. All the stuff, everything he did, I did the same thing, exact same thing. I'm just being honest right there. Every word he used, I used those words too. Yeah. So to say that I'm a good person, he's a bad person is unbelievably dishonest. That is engaging the unconscious. But no,
and I think that's probably true forgivence, because you recognize that you're not a good person. You're not saying
no. I called. He was the ultimate. It's Republican versus Democrat. All this other crap. No, he did all the stuff that everything that he did, I did too. Every single dirty thing he did, all the insults, all the name calling, I did the same thing too. That's the point. That is the truth right there. That's what I noticed. Not, I'm a good person, I'm an empath, all this other crap. No, I'm so happy I'm a gummy bear. La 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 la. No, not all that. But trap. I did everything he did basically, and unfortunately, there's people say it's the good side, it's the bad side. The dark side's going to come out and say the Jedi failed all of you, and turns out the Jedi did fail them. That's what I noticed, but. We say the Jedi are good guys, but the Jedi failed everybody. It's kind of, yeah. So,
are you saying it's pretty? Are you pretty much saying, hey, it's perception, right? Or do we kind of mirror our perception? And other people kind of mirror who we are or how we perceive things, right?
Yeah, it's the world's kind of like a mirror. It's like a mirror of what you do. So everything we do, everything other people do, we do too, and to some degree. And all we have to do is notice. Good people do bad things and bad people do good things. All we have to do is notice, and that gets rid of all the bullshit. That gets rid of all the lies, all the topsy-turvy, good versus evil. It gets rid of all that crap. And you're left with the truth. And the truth is it's the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. Mic drop. Okay, a little dramatic there, but no. Just pay attention. Don't think, pay attention. Dumb yourself down, dumb your life down, dumb everything around you down, and just pay attention. That's about it. So, a little dramatic there. But,
I had a similar. I'm sure we all have similar experiences, but I had a similar at work, right? It's like, I'm like, this person is this and this person is that, or they hate me, or they're jealous, and this and that. I'm all in my head. And blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, it's not that way, really. It's like some of these guys are cool. Some of these guys are cool, really, right? So, yeah.
I mean, most people are okay unless you do something bad to them, like, take away their money or insult them or, harm them in some way. Most people in general are okay. They're okay. In day-to-day life, like, most things are just, they're okay, quote unquote. When it's bad, we want to be prepared for when it's bad, to have something to deal with when it gets bad. And that's difficult because when the good times are happening, or even when things are quote unquote okay, when the bad times happen, they can really kick us down. And, we don't get, that type of thing. I don't know.
It's because people are afraid to say the truth right off the bat. So it builds up. You get in your head.
The problem is at a young age, we're taught to say good versus good, taught to weed out good people and bad people, to judge people by good and bad. That's the problem. It's love versus sin, right? That's what basically religion, right? Though love, God versus the devil, good versus evil. We're taught to judge people at a young age, and we have no idea who the good and bad people. We have no idea who they are. We have no idea who they are. All we have to do. But when we're thinking and thinking and thinking, we're entering into that false dichotomy right there. That it's a false dichotomy. When we're paying attention, this dichotomy is gone, and we're looking at things as they actually are. That's the point.
Yeah, along those lines, like paying attention, just listening, like being very vulnerable and listening to the other person's perspective, I think it goes a long way, because a lot of times people just already have their answer in their head already. But let's say somebody disagrees with you. They're on the polar opposite side of your argument. Don't you want to actually listen to what they say to see how they came up with that conclusion. I mean, you learned. It doesn't mean you have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem with the mind is that the amygdala lights up when we hear a point of view that we don't like. That's the problem. So all we have to do is notice and think less. That's the point. So I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm gonna start doing more noticing and less thinking. That's what I'm gonna be doing. So unless I'll listen to everybody's perspective. So yeah,
I agree.
So I'm confident enough to say all that. Looks at all the bad people in my life. I think did more good than all the supposedly good people. I had more friends that stabbed me in the back than people who hated my guts completely.
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends that stabbed me in the back. I hate those people more than the people who openly hated my guts. So
That's how life works. It's just completely. That's why there's nothing in life. There's absolutely nothing here to be good. There's nothing. What do you want here? What do you actually want here? There's nothing here. And you can kind of be happy at the fact that there's nothing here, or you can be sad at the fact there's nothing here. And it's kind of your choice.
So
Yeah.
another example of this is the political. So Ben Shapiro, all these other people too. There's a lot of stuff we're hearing. Facts don't care about your feelings. I got angry when I heard back in 2017. I got angry when I heard that, but that person was onto something. That person was. There's a lot. I guess it always goes back to noticing versus thinking. There was a lot of noticing, and I noticed there were contradictions everywhere. All these lies about white and black, good and evil, and the fear that evil may win. That's it. I'm repeating myself here, but just pay attention, and I think we'll be fine. Actually, I think we'll be fine.
Hey, Kat, real quick. Are you kind of saying, look, it's fighting back? Basically, you're saying, hey, to fight back, we got to kind of do the opposite of what was taught, right? Don't play the game, so to speak.
Well, like I said, the mind is just going to make up all these stories. The unconscious mind will make up all these stories. You can't trust. I don't think you can. The unconscious mind always lies. And the conscious mind always tells the truth. The unconscious mind can see the lies. The conscious mind can't see the lies. That's the point. So it's kind of topsy. It's kind of funny, but if you just notice, I think you'll get less triggered by the ideas of good and evil. That's what I think. That's what's holding all this together. You'll get rid of these ideas about good and evil, and you start seeing that yes, these people are doing bad things, but we don't know what's causing the bad things. It could be their shadow. It could be anything. We don't know. So to judge them as wrong as bad people is a gross oversimplification and is grossly disingenuous. So
a lot of people just do not know how to listen to other people, and they just think that they already have a lot of things figured out when every brain is different.
So I will do to continue on to that. I will do more noticing and less thinking because my mind lies all the time. I think I have a schizotypal brain, so my mind is on conspiracy theories and everything. So I will do more noticing, but some things I'm confident about. So then this is one of them. The truth, I think I'm confident about that. So yeah.
Well, when it comes to mental illness, I thought about that too. I could be here. Of course, I'm thinking a lot, right? But still, right? Like when it comes to mental illness, I'm skeptical on some of those things too. Like it can mental illness be tapping into something deeper? I know you mentioned like psycho stuff.
Overanalyzation.
Yeah, it's controversial. Yeah, it's controversial, and but the therapy is about therapy and law are about the truth. I think therapy is tapping into white versus black, really just truth versus lies. Therapy wants us to explore ourselves, really, and everything. And DBT, shadow work, all that other stuff. It taps into who we are. So,
I think therapy is pretty much a joke from my experience. But do you think there are good therapists out there? Do you think there's real science?
So my name, Cat Drugs, I've been hospitalized 5 times. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to hide that. That's just I've went through hell. I had to be dragged kicking and screaming. So what I noticed, not what I think, what I noticed is that therapists want the truth more than anything. They can be nice, but ultimately they want the truth. And a lot of us don't like our play. We put on a victim persona. We think, oh, the whole world got it wrong. The whole world wronged us. We have to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. That's basically what we have to tell what we notice, not what we think, because the mind is just lying. That's about it. So,
people lie to their therapists, their doctors all the time.
So a narcissist is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So a narcissist is gonna basically or a liar basically, and liar is not gonna tell the truth, good or bad. Forget good or bad. The liar is just gonna go up by what they think rather than what they notice. So
What's the difference between think and notice?
noticing is just paying attention to everything you say. That's everything. Lying is engaging the mind. That's about it. I gotta go.
Mi amor, usted tiene hambre, mi mami. Ven, mi mami. Estos cabrones no le dan de comer.
The fuck is that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to mute that person.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people do that.
Is the way to mute the person, or do they realize that they're being heard?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's good to meet you guys. I'm not gonna hang around too long, but I mean, I got a question for you guys.
Can you mute your mic?
Hey, friends, can you hear us?
Hello? How's it going?
Hey.
Serial killers dressing high in material.
Yeah, man. We heard a lot of noise in the background. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you good? No, before I go, guys, I got a question for you guys. What's the end game, right? Like, what's the end game of all this? Like, how do y'all feel? Like, how did this end? Like, do it end in this type of awakening, or is it? Do we have to all escape this matrix somehow? I don't know. like, what's your philosophy? On this.
Benedictine, are you in here? You want to weigh in on that? I would just say that it's a good question, but I'm not sure it's our job to figure that out.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's a heavy burden to place on yourself, but I think it's a good thing to think about. But I'm not sure if we need to find it. What makes you think we even need to come up with an answer for that?
It's interesting. I don't know, man. That's the thing, man. Like it's so much, right? It's like my mind, your brain just kind of go all over the place, and And
right.
like you guys mentioned, like I want to be open minded to everything. I want to, like you said, I want to listen to everybody. I don't want to be like just one minded, because I used to be like one minded thinking. And I guess for me, I'm like an investigator. I want to kind of figure out what's going on. I guess just like you guys, like what the hell was going on, and I want to kind of just listen, like you said, just pay attention to the patterns in life. It's almost like an algorithm of some sorts. I don't know, like we're under some type of algorithm or something.
Yeah, I think there's things that you're just not going to be able to find the answer to. I really do think it's that simple sometimes.
Yeah.
Like what kind of answer would have been a good answer from me right there? Like I was to tell, like I can tell you what I think happens when we die and stuff, but like I'm just that's a heavy question.
Yeah, it's kind of a vague. I mean, it's a broad question because I don't really know, right? I don't know how to phrase the question.
It's a good question that I'm not sure if I'm able to come up with the solution to that. It's gonna maybe take a lot more work.
You mentioned the afterlife. What's your perspectives on the afterlife? Like,
I think consciousness continues in one form or not. I don't think it's the end. To answer your question, what do you think?
Yeah, I believe that we go on. Because what's the point, right? What's the point of us living? Right? What's the point of anything? Like what Benedict will say on his channel. Like, what's the point? How can I can enjoy, like for example, I ate a good meal today. Okay, great. But if I can't remember that meal, what's the fucking point? I don't know. It's
so the unsatisfying answer is there. Maybe there is no point, and we spend so much time trying to think of an answer. when really we're just here to experience. Maybe I'm not saying that's exactly how I feel, but I think it's good to approach things like, you might not have all the answers, Sway.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of answers are unsatisfying, and it just doesn't do it for us. Like, we have to keep continuing to search for a better answer, but when there is no better answer.
Yeah. But it's like I can't stop thinking about it. It's like, I don't know, man. I'll play my video games. I try to enjoy life just like you guys, I'm sure. But then I gotta stop and it's like, man, I'm thinking about what's going on. Like, man, right. I'm looking at the sky and shit. Am I the only one looking up in the sky?
I think there's power in just being able to come to a conclusion saying, you know what, I don't know. And I like thinking about it. I like thinking of the different theories, and I'm okay that I don't know. That means there's a lot of possibilities on the table.
Yeah. That's the best thing you can do, I think, probably. All of us.
It's like if somebody asks you a question and every single time you have a direct answer and and you have very strong opinions, I'm not sure that's the best way to approach everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are things that we need to know and we want to know. So I don't know. I think there must be a balance, because if you have this need to know the truth, the things that can be known, you should strive to know them. Obviously, the things that can't be known, you shouldn't be like stressed about them.
But what if sometimes there is no answer?
That's the old saying, silence is the voice of God.
Yeah, obviously, if there is no answer, there is no point in stressing yourself, obviously.
It's like, let's say a woman broke up with you and she gave you no explanation. You never talked to her again.
Oh.
How much time will be wasted on trying to figure out why she dumped you?
I have a friend that spent 50 days approximately with that.
What did you say it again?
I know someone that spent like 50 days talking about that, theorizing about that, because he got blocked, a friend of mine. And I mean, in the end, completely useless.
Yeah, I mean, there's no answer to that. And it's not just a matter of wasting time, but I think sometimes there's power in just saying there is no answer here. Maybe it will come one day.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah. But in terms of this reality and like speculation of this reality, I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy to strive to know more, even though we know that, like the Christians say, the path of God is unknowable, something like that, which translates as what you're saying. Like there are things that are unknowable, but that doesn't mean we should stop striving to know.
Definitely.